Get down.
Hi guys, welcome back to TALKCHAIN channel. I'm Choco, the host of today's AMA. So TALKCHAIN is a blockchain media based in Malaysia, striving to serve the people by delivering quality blockchain and crypto-related contents as our contribution towards the growing gem space. Today we have invited the co-founder and managing director of one of the first 3 Malaysia SC registered digital asset exchange, Sinegy. Let us welcome Mr. Kelvyn Chuah. Hi Kelvyn.
Hi, Choco. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you for joining us today. Can you do a little bit introduction of yourself and also tell us how you get involved into blockchain?
Oh, sure. Actually, our journey started in the business in mid-2017. So unbeknownst to a lot of people out there, we're actually a Penang-based company. We don't actually have a presence in KL yet. So we do have a pretty decent sized team. Right now, we're about 18 employees strong, and most of us are Penangites. I do have one Kuala colleague who married a Penang girl, so I always joke that because he married a local girl, he's 50% Malaysian already.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell a little bit more about Sinegy and also what inspired and how was the development, how was the journey of Sinegy getting started?
When we started the business in 2017, there was really no regulations, even though the crypto market has been around since 2010. I actually got the idea to start a crypto exchange from the co-founder of the company. His name is Daniel Chan. We went to high school together, I believe primary school as well. He was already, I would say, quite deep into crypto. He did mining and then he did trading. We were in business together for about 5 years. We had a business that developed, company software. So when he came to me with the idea, like most people in this space, I kind of brush off, right? What is this Bitcoin? I don't even know who invented it, etc. So, but what I did differently was I said, okay, let me just go on a treadmill for a couple of months, right? Just watch YouTube clips on crypto and blockchain. And after 3 months, I got really excited because I understood what it was, and I definitely believed that it was going to be a world-changing asset class. Assemble a team. At the time, I think there was about 8-10 of us. We raised some money from family and friends, and the 3 F's are family, friends, and fools. And essentially, bring everyone together, and then we just started building. And I want to point out that we are also pro-regulation. So before we even started to write the first line of code, we had already gone to the regulators to let them know what we're doing.
Okay, so is Sinegy only focused on the Malaysian market, or do you have any plan?
We are. So right now, we've been operating in Malaysia for slightly over a year now. We actually got the official concurrence to go live on 1st April of last year, on April Fool's Day. And so we've been operating slightly over a year now. And we operate what we call a fiat on-ramp, right? So you come to our platform because you want to give us ringgit and be able to exchange it for Bitcoin or Ethereum. We have been approached recently by people in the region to ask whether we're interested to go into frontier markets. I would say that our focus is mainly Malaysia, unless someone approaches us and sees value in what we do, wants to bring it to frontier markets, then we'll consider it. But the main focus is still the Malaysian market.
I see. Okay, yeah. Can you tell us what are the competitive advantages of Sinegy in Malaysia?
I would say because we're from Malaysia, naturally we do have a lot of local contacts, etc. I guess we know what the local market wants, right? And we're trying to always factor into the business development roadmap. For example, trading fees. So it's something that I think we're the lowest price exchange in terms of trading fees right now. We actually offer this thing called a maker's rebate. And essentially, if you come to the platform, if you know the right order type to use, not only do you not pay money to trade, in fact, you earn a trading rebate. So to put things into perspective, the maker's rebate is about 0.25%. So for every 1,000 ringgit trade, you're earning 2 ringgit 50 cents. if you trade bigger, 10,000 ringgit, then you earn 25 ringgit. So if you are placing a buy order, using a buy order, and you use the right order type, which is a maker order, when the trade is executed, for every 10,000 ringgit, you earn 25 ringgit. Vice versa, if you're selling Bitcoin, you use the right order type, the maker's order. When you sell 10,000 ringgit worth of Bitcoin, you'll earn 25 ringgit back in Bitcoin form.
I see. Okay, that's very cool. Do you have any further planning or intended breakthroughs in Sinegy?
I think if you look at what's happening all around the world, the regulated exchanges tend to move a bit slower because we are waiting for frameworks that the regulators will come up with. So if you want to look at the roadmap for the exchanges, I think it's easy to look at international players which are very big in this space, right? Companies like FTX. And if you go to those platforms, you'll notice that they're doing asset lending, right? So this is part of the products that we want to bring out. Derivatives, right? Things like futures trading and also option. So it's part of the roadmap. However, we also need to we have to move in accordance to the regulator. So we spend quite a big part of our day actually engaging with them and trying to get things approved. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Hopefully, maybe next year we can get asset lending approved, followed by maybe futures trading. But who knows? I mean, we're gonna get there eventually. Yeah.
Okay, that is very exciting. Yeah. Like all of us will be looking for that.
Yeah.
And do you think Sinegy is going to release more products soon?
So in the Malaysian market, you can only trade 5 cryptos right now. I think Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Ripple, and also Litecoin. So no matter what other new cryptos or tokens we want to list, this is all pending the regulator. For us, the plan is to actually list more tokens towards the 4th quarter of this year. The reason why is because we're still quite new. I think we've only been around for a year plus. So we decided to focus more of our resources on the so-called blue chips, like the Bitcoins and Ethereum, rather than have 5 assets and then have to worry about the liquidity on the other assets. So the plan is to roll them out slowly, but over time.
I see. Cool. Okay. So how do you see blockchain and crypto industry involvement landscape in Malaysia?
I think in Malaysia, because we're so fortunate to have progressive regulator, the landscape is going to evolve very rapidly. I think the reason why new tokens are not being able to be listed is also probably because regulated exchanges such as us, we are not pushing hard enough, right? Because we're working on other things, etc., partnerships and so on. But for example, in Malaysia this year we applied for a new license. It's called the Initial Exchange Offering. So it is in a way similar to an ICO, but in 2017 the ICO was unregulated manner of raising capital. So the IEO will allow you to actually raise capital using digital tokens. However, there is a ceiling. The ceiling is about 100 million per project, but still it is a high number. I think if you go on any equity crowdfunding platform right now with an idea for a campaign, the max limit that you can raise is 10 million. When this launches, right, you can raise 100 million ringgit per project. So we are particularly excited about this space.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are applying for the license, or is that approved already?
We applied actually in February of this year. So during the interview, we were told that basically the applicants that got the license will be announced by the 3rd quarter of this year. So I'm waiting every day, for the announcement to come. And I keep telling myself, okay, I think September is the end of the 3rd quarter. So if you don't hear anything by this month, then I'll be a bit more worried.
How many participants? How many participants actually applied for that? Like, the exact number? Who are the competitors?
Good question. Good question. I read an article yesterday on The Edge. This guy named Edmund, who I also know from KL, he said 20 over companies applied for the IEO license. I actually think a much lower number. I think the number is definitely under 10. And the reason for that is because the crypto and the blockchain community in Malaysia is very small. We know most of them, right? It's a very friendly bunch of people. I think they've been on your show, people like Harpreet, Colbert, etc. So I, when we all applied together, and we know, I guess, we kind of maybe for the exception of one other company that I might not know, but I think we know most of the people that applied lah. And everyone's just like us, right? Last week, my friend Colbert just messaged me, hey, have you heard anything back? And I said, no, we're still waiting. Yeah.
So there's no news yet, technically, like nobody has received anything.
No news yet lah. No news yet lah. No news yet. I think the SC is very busy.
Maybe. So let's hope for the good news from you, from Colbert, from Harpreet. Hopefully, good luck.
Fingers crossed. Thank you.
So, do you have any planning, like to host? Not you, like do Sinegy has any planning to host webinar or like online training to educate the potential users?
For sure. We actually currently do webinars every fortnight. So every 2 weeks we will do a webinar. We used to do it weekly. And we felt that when you do it too often, the participation rate is not so high. Education is a very important part of our game plan. In fact, when we applied to be a licensed DAX, there was actually a part of the application where we have to detail how we intend to actually educate the public. I think if it wasn't because of the COVID, you will see us being more active in KL, going to events, etc. And if actually for you guys too, right? If TALKCHAIN has any intention to go down the education path, right? We are happy to work with you guys because I believe you guys have a wider reach. So we can come work together and see how we can educate more, take these things. Even to the rural areas, right? Not just the city centers.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, we're so glad that you offered this. So let's work together to see what we can do.
Yes. We can't do it alone. I mean, we can't do it alone. The crypto market is evolving so fast, so rapidly. I think the adoption rate in Malaysia is probably less than 3%. So we need to, I think in US the number is probably around 13% right now. So we have there's a long way to go still. And if we don't educate more, I think people will fall victim to scams, etc. Right? So it is our responsibility to grow the industry together.
Yeah, it's important to educate the users. We can't do it alone as well. That's why we need all of you guys helping us to do it together.
Yeah. So sounds good.
Next question, it's something interesting, like people want to know, what do you think about Binance being listed as a warning exchange and being banned in Malaysia?
When you have offshore players such as Binance operating in Malaysia, I think they need to understand that being regulated is it's basically playing by the rules, right? So for example, the 3 regulated DEXs, in order to get the license, we have to invest in people, we have to invest in tech vendors, etc. And it comes with a cost, right? So when it comes to vendor costs, I would say it can easily be 1/3 of our company expenses. And therefore, if I can tell them one thing, I would say to them, look, guys, if you want to operate here, you got to at least play by the rules, right? And when you don't play by the rules and you undercut everyone like that, it's not being fair to us as well, because then we are not being able to capture the necessary market that we want. But to say that also, I think I think you also know that they are trying to comply in ways that they can, and perhaps it will not happen overnight, but it will happen gradually over time, right? I mean, recently they hired the CEO of Singapore Exchange, I think the head regulatory officer. So let's see where it takes them. Let's see where it takes them.
I think it's actually the same thing. Like it's either you first comply the rules or you first develop your markets. But while they're doing the reverse way, while Sinegy is complying first, right?
It's so I think it's like a shortcut, right? If you go, you do first and then you comply later. But I mean, the Olympics just finished, right? So I think for me, the best example is like, imagine if we go to the Olympics and we compete together, right? You know, a certain set of rules that we have to play by. And it's not fair if you do it your way, right? And you say,
it's not fair. You get first prize and then you find out, oh, you didn't follow the rules.
Yeah. It shouldn't be like that, you know. I mean, and you've met them all. You know, the DAXs in Malaysia, we are competitive. Obviously, there's competition because we're all operating the same business, but we're not at each other's throat, right? Because we know that as long as the asset class wins, everybody wins, right? So it is time to start playing by the rules, lah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is very good for you guys. I think it's a good news for you guys. Like, yeah. So everyone is like in a fair competition right now. Yeah. I mean, adoption, if Bitcoin gets more adoption, is good for everyone, right? I mean, I think all of us have some sort of exposure to crypto asset right now. So more adoption is good, you know. And if you think about it, if you're a bank or you're a brokerage firm, if you want to find someone to partner with, you can't go to an offshore player, right? You need to find a regulated entity to work with, right? Because they understand that, oh, okay, you are being regulated in probably a similar manner that we are, right? So they understand things. So you know, it's important to also understand that the regulated players are fighting the tough battle, you know, with the traditional financial institution. So I always say to people that, you know, by going down the regulated path, we're taking the slow, scenic walk to the top of the hill, you know. That is a good way to do it, like, instead of you just taking all the risks and then you don't reach the thing. Other than this, like, do you have any special announcements or like any events recently going on you want to tell our audience today?
I think I mentioned it just now. I mean, we are obviously applying for the IEO thing, and I guess the other thing that I want to mention is that for those of us in the space, we actually feel that IEO could potentially be bigger than the exchange business. So like digital banking, right? When you saw the list of applicants, you noticed that nobody applied alone. All the application was part of a consortium, right? Meaning a group of 3, a group of 4 people. I think Genting was the only applicant that applied alone for digital banking.
I see.
So for IEO, we use the same approach, right? Because we feel that you know, this is potentially going to be a bigger business than the exchange business. We partnered with this company called FinHero. They are a solutions provider for P2P financing platform. So they're working now with co-founder. So they are going to come in and use their technology to basically read and understand financial statements using text recognition. And we also partner with another company in KL called Quantify. They are one of the leading, I think they're the leading corporate finance boutique outfit in KL. So this is essentially our way of true to our name, right? I think we are very open to partnerships to try to build this industry together. In terms of any other event that's happening, let me take a quick look here. Let me see if I miss anything out. I guess part of the roadmap that we're working on is on instant deposits, right? If you look at the other DEXs in the market, you can actually deposit money to them using FPX. So what happens is, if you use FPX and you deposit money, you actually you can get the deposit into the system instantly. Actually, FPX doesn't give the money to the company immediately. It's actually T+1 settlement. So we're launching something similar to that. Instant deposit, right? Using the banking API, and hopefully in the next couple of months also instant withdrawal. So you know, for you to put money into the system and take money out to buy crypto will become even more smooth,
Yeah, and quicker.
Yeah. Quicker, that's right. Quicker, yeah.
Which is a very good news, and we are really very excited to see all the good things going to happen, like the IEO license, and also like what you say, the instant deposit and instant withdrawal. So I think the next thing is, depending on us, like we have to very closely checking out on Sinegy, like what is happening next. Thank you so much, Kelvyn.
Yep, thank you. Follow us on social media, Sinegy.com, right? So just follow us on social media, and you can start from there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Kelvyn, for your time today and also your sharing. Like, I believe this AMA is going to be useful for the crypto community in Malaysia and also helps the audience to understand more about Sinegy. So don't forget to follow and subscribe Sinegy, and don't forget to follow and subscribe our channel for more crypto-related content. I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks for having me here, Choco. Take care. I'll speak to you soon, okay? Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.